Delane Morris is a devoted wife and mother who has always prioritized her family above everything else. Her marriage started as a beautiful journey filled with love, laughter, and the promise of a lifetime together. She believed in the idea of a strong, committed relationship and did everything in her power to nurture her home, ensuring that her husband and children were well taken care of. However, over the years, something began to shift. The warmth that once filled her marriage started to fade, replaced by cold indifference and a growing emotional distance. At first, Delane brushed off the signs, convincing herself that all relationships go through rough patches. She tried to rekindle the connection, making extra efforts to bring back the spark they once had. She planned special dinners, suggested vacations, and even ignored the nagging feeling in her heart that something was missing. But no matter what she did, her husband seemed disengaged, caught up in his own world, and uninterested in making things better. Conversations turned into routine exchanges, affection became rare, and laughter, the kind that once made their home feel alive, had disappeared. One evening, after another emotionally exhausting day, Delane found herself sitting alone, reflecting on the life she was living. She realized that she had spent so many years being a wife and mother that she had forgotten about herself. She had dreams once, passions that had been set aside to fulfill the expectations of being the perfect partner. Now, she felt invisible, as if she no longer existed as an individual, but only as someone who served the needs of others. The loneliness was suffocating, and for the first time, she allowed herself to acknowledge that she was deeply unhappy. After much soul-searching, she made a difficult decision, one that required more courage than she had ever imagined. She told her husband that she could no longer continue in a marriage where she felt unfulfilled. It was not a decision made out of anger or resentment, but rather from the realization that she deserved happiness too. Her husband was taken aback, unable to comprehend why she was suddenly questioning everything they had built. But for Delane, this had been years in the making. She knew deep down that this was not a sudden moment of doubt, but the result of a long, silent battle she had been fighting alone. With uncertainty ahead of her, she moved out with her children and began the process of rebuilding her life from scratch. At first, the silence was overwhelming. She was no longer surrounded by the familiar sounds of her old life, the soft hum of conversations, the laughter of shared jokes, the comforting presence of someone beside her at night. Now there was only stillness, and with it came the terrifying realization that she was truly on her own. In the beginning, doubts crept in. Had she made a mistake? Was she being selfish? Was she strong enough to navigate life without the security of the past? These questions haunted her, but she refused to let fear dictate her choices. She began to rediscover herself, doing things that once brought her joy, reading books late into the night, taking long walks in the crisp morning air, and reconnecting with friends she had lost touch with over the years. As time passed, Delane started to see herself in a new light. She was no longer just a wife or a mother. She was a woman with dreams, desires, and the right to happiness. She focused on her personal growth, embracing opportunities she had never considered before. She built a career, gained confidence, and found strength in her independence. Most importantly, her children saw a different version of their mother, one who was not just existing, but truly living. She was happier, more present, and filled with a newfound sense of purpose. They too thrived in this environment, understanding that happiness is not about sacrificing oneself for the sake of familiarity, but about creating a life that is rich, fulfilling, and true to one's heart. In the end, Delane's journey was not just about leaving a marriage. It was about finding herself again. It was about choosing self-worth over comfort, about embracing the unknown, with the belief that something better was waiting on the other side. She proved that life does not end when a relationship does. Sometimes, it is just the beginning of something far greater than we could have ever imagined. The Secret Life of a Single Mom is a deeply moving film that takes us on an emotional and transformative journey through the eyes of a woman who rediscovers herself after years of being lost in the expectations of marriage and motherhood. It is not just a story about love or relationships. It is a powerful reflection on the importance of self-worth, personal growth, and the courage it takes to step away from a life that no longer brings joy. What makes this film so compelling is its ability to portray Delane's internal struggles with such raw honesty. She is a character that many can relate to, someone who has given her all to a relationship, only to realize that she has lost herself in the process. The film does a phenomenal job of exploring the quiet loneliness that can exist even in a house filled with people, the feeling of being unseen and unheard despite being surrounded by family. The cinematography beautifully captures the essence of Delane's journey. The early scenes, filled with dimly lit rooms and silent dinners, emphasize the emotional isolation she feels. As she embarks on her path to self-discovery, the visuals become brighter, symbolizing the newfound clarity and freedom she experiences. Every frame tells a story, drawing the audience into her world in a way that feels deeply personal. One of the film's greatest strengths is its realism. It does not romanticize the process of leaving a relationship or suggest that happiness comes easily. Instead, it acknowledges the fear, the uncertainty, and the doubt that come with stepping into the unknown. It portrays the emotional ups and downs with authenticity, making Delane's journey all the more relatable. The performances are nothing short of exceptional. The lead actress brings depth and vulnerability to the role, making Delane's transformation feel incredibly genuine. Her interactions with her children are heartfelt and touching, showcasing the delicate balance between being a mother and an individual with her own aspirations. Beyond the emotional depth, the film also delivers a powerful message about resilience. It reminds us that life does not end when a relationship does. Instead, it offers an opportunity to rediscover who we are, to embrace change, and to build a future that aligns with our true selves. It challenges societal expectations, proving that choosing happiness is not selfish, it is necessary. Overall, The Secret Life of a Single Mom is a must-watch for anyone who has ever felt trapped in a life that no longer brings fulfillment. It is an inspiring and beautifully crafted film that encourages us to find the courage to create the life we deserve. It is a story of hope, strength, and the incredible power of starting over.